Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, Pete.
How's it going? Wait, I want to say like, share, comment on our podcast. Help us grow.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to take care of housekeeping first. That is what I meant to say. That's why I was like, anyway, you're right. We probably have things to say. We would really like to see and hear from you on our Instagram page at Spiritual Graffiti Pod. And yeah.
Yeah, give us ideas. We need help.
Yeah. We
We need
just like, we
help.
want to hear from people, even if it's like, yeah, just that you like
Negative
listening or
feedback.
whatever. But yeah, no. We don't want to hear any. I mean, no, we do want haters actually.
Yeah,
Um, I feel like
haters help.
that's like a good sign having haters. And maybe we like never mind. Anyway, there was something else besides this though. Oh, I think we're gonna start having guests back on here in the next like couple weeks. So
Oh
yeah, we
yeah,
have some people. We have some interviews scheduled with people that I think will be really cool. And yeah, I kind of miss doing that.
yeah.
No offense, Pete, but
We're gonna have the deaf guy on.
the
We're gonna
deaf
have.
guy, is that what we're calling him? I feel like that's not fair.
I mean, yeah, he's a hospice guy,
He's a hospice nurse
Jonathan.
who's going to talk to us about death and dying. And I think he has some like rituals and things like that that we'll get into. Um,
And the Kundalini sex energy healer that I had a
yeah.
session with. I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah. See, now that you mention it, I kind of do want to talk about that part.
All
I don't
right.
want to give it all away because obviously we're going to talk to this like Kundalini healer. Um, but I don't know. Now you sound embarrassed and shy, and so I'm going to force you
Nah,
to
nah. I'm not.
talk.
I mean, I'm open for anything. I just, whatever. No, I had a session with this lady. What was it? Last Sunday. She was offering like a giveaway, and I guess I won the giveaway. And we had a session together, and one thing led to another. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was really good. It feels like I feel like I don't know, like I do a lot of like tantric breathing every day. I do kind of like the same practice, and I've kind of I shared that practice with you. Like I just basically breathe like my sexual energy through my body, and there's like three or four exercises
Hmm.
that I kind of practice every day.
Yeah.
So I
And it's like a cool breathing technique. Like even if it's not like even if your goal isn't like sex magic, quote unquote, like I think sometimes those like breathing like meditations are like obviously during like regular meditation you're going to focus on your breath, but this is like way more, I don't know, engaging that like your breath, you know? I just
yeah
think that's an interesting aspect to it that really does kind of, I don't know, it just brings a lot of awareness to like your physical body and how it's all sort of connected. I don't know. I don't know anything about it really, but I found it pretty moving, I guess.
yeah I feel like if anything, it lets you be aware of your body, and then like when you're aware of yourself, it feels like I think a big issue people have is like their own like sovereignty and their like own like influences from like whether it's their relationships, their environment, the collective consciousness, like so like if you're at least aware of yourself, you can kind of feel through things and see when things are you and see when things are from some other source, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's like
Um
a big thing for me. I think that's something I've been kind of focused on for myself lately because I guess yeah, it's always been kind of hard for me to tell. Like I think I'm way too open to other people's like energies, and I wouldn't say influence necessarily, but it's like kind of this all works on a subconscious level for me, I think, where I just like if I'm around people, um the wrong kinds of people, I can I just like take on a lot of maybe negativity or just like whatever their shit is without realizing it, and then I'll have to sit there and be like, what's wrong with me? Like, why do I feel so off? And you're exactly right. Like, it helps you figure out what's not yours and what is just you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really
Well,
interesting how that works, like just getting connected to your own body, like in that more intentional way.
yeah. Well, I think too. Like if you look at things, like like what does sexual energy really like symbolize? And to me, it's more of like your creative force, right? So if you're like running this like creative force through your body, I would imagine it would like open things up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like create
Or
on
like
an energy.
inspire.
Yeah, like create on an energetic level. So like if you're running creative energy through your heart, maybe it makes your heart expand, or at least that's how I feel. I think like we got to look at things on all levels. So if you're looking at your energy and kind of running this like kundalini creative force through your body, I think all it's going to do is really expand you and open you up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's a pretty positive way of being. I mean, I don't know. I just feel overall I feel better from doing like a practice every day. So I mean
Yeah.
that's all
I
I'm looking
know. I
for.
mean, I think you're definitely somebody who has routine around this kind of work, and I think that's interesting because yeah, I don't
Why?
know. Well, just because, like, do you think, I don't know, I have a tendency to like not do anything every day, I guess. Like not like anything period, but just like I'm not going to do the same things every day. I feel like that's boring or something. um or like I'll do things if I feel like called to do them, or there's an opportunity to do it. But I'm not like every single day I need to do like these kind of energetic work things, like what, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
um
Well, I mean,
do you
like
ever think it's too much, like too much manifestation and shit, like
too much sex energy, never.
no, well, no, just more like too much, like, I don't know, focus on that area or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just kind of try to do. I've been trying to be more in the present moment and like what feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I do, like, for example, every day I work out. Like,
Yeah.
I know I feel better if I work out. I feel shittier if I don't work out. Therefore, Pete Pete works out. Like
It's the same type of thing.
yeah. So like, but on the other hand, it's like then a lot of times I overanalyze and think like, am I like creating this program in my brain where like I rely on having to work out to feel good? You know, like me doing that pattern in a disciplined way, is that like creating a deeper pattern? You know?
That's kind of what I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't know, but right now it feels good.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
Um,
you know what it is too. Like my job, I don't like. I drive around, I check on a couple things. I have a lot of downtime, so
yeah,
like I'll do like what's a half an hour of like breathing and prayer if it makes me feel better. If I have
yeah,
5 hours to do nothing.
yeah. I mean, I think that's why people like, set aside 20, 30 minutes to meditate every day. It's the same kind of thing, but I just think that this is interesting because it is like, yeah, it's definitely more engaging, I guess. There's like more to do than
Yeah,
there,
but
in meditation. It's kind of like you really have to deal with your thoughts.
like I also am like a big person on like efficiency.
Hmm.
So it's like I remember like when I first started like getting into this stuff, it's like I needed like an hour ritual sometimes to like kind of find balance, whatever that meant, you know? It's like I do this thing and I feel good, and I've like I don't really even meditate anymore, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I feel pretty clear
Mhm.
and I feel pretty like in flow state throughout my day, you know? So I mean, if this is like the most, I try to find like the most efficient thing, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think I don't know. I just think it's cool. I think it's interesting. I'm excited to talk to the healer in a couple weeks, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. Is there anything else like I guess since you do this kind of practice every day, like what would you say was so much different about going to someone else and having a session with them?
I think there is an aspect to any of this work that you kind of need somebody to hold the space for you.
Right.
You know, like I think like on a certain level, there's always going to be like judgment from yourself on anything you're doing. So like
Sure.
if somebody's like sincerely holding space for you, I think it just allows you to get to a deeper level of like vulnerability, and through that deeper level of vulnerability you're like more aware, you know. So I think when you're I think like even when I do like clearing work for people, deep possession work, a lot of times it's like um I was taught that like the awareness is what allows you to like release a lot of stuff, you know. So like if I'm doing clearing with you, I've done work with you and stuff, and I'm like, what does this energy feel like, right? So like it's like the awareness that lets you be aware of it, like that it's holding in you, or it's holding some energetic pattern. So like I think when you have somebody else to kind of just let you be authentically whatever you're feeling, I think like you can't acknowledge certain things by yourself.
Yeah.
It's the
I
same.
definitely think that. And I think that's why like I don't know, we can get into some other stuff maybe later, but um I think you're exactly right because I think that if you're in your head at all, like being like have trying to do this work, but you're having like shame and like doubt, and you're like, even am I doing this right? You know,
Yeah,
like that's a question that comes up
yeah,
for me a lot, which like
or
totally holds me back.
yeah, or if you don't use it, you lose it.
Okay.
That was a joke. Never mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I like spaced. I was trying to get to a point in my mind and you said something and I was just like, huh? Like, sorry. I really
um.
just missed. I don't even know what you said.
Okay, forget it. um. Yeah. No. I mean, now I lost my train of
I'm
thought.
sorry.
um.
Well, you're right. You're right. You need someone else to hold the space for you sometimes. That's what we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah. You need somebody to hold the space for you, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
because I
Because
was
if
thinking
someone else
about it.
can watch you without like judging you, then I think it's easier to feel like safe to not judge yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's
Because that's
even
the
like
thing. You get to thinking all these thoughts about like, am I doing this right? Like, oh, like that doesn't feel good. And then you can kind of like stop yourself or block yourself from getting beneath whatever it is that makes you like cringe or,
yeah.
you know.
Well, no, but like especially in terms of like sex, because it's such like a taboo and like
Oh yeah.
restrictive
Yeah.
like thing to work with, because of like religion and like how you're supposed to be. And it's like if you're having these feeling, just having the feeling is creating like a shame and guilt with you,
Mhm.
because you're like, oh, this isn't right because the church says it, or this isn't right because society says it, or
Yeah.
so
And
it's
we've
hard.
definitely gotten into this before how like the more shame you feel about sex, it's like it almost produces more, I don't know, like perversion or something, or like it like corrupts your sexuality to have all the shame around it. So you actually have to
Yeah,
like
and then
embrace it and
yeah, and
and
then it
work with
probably
it
yeah,
and
it
channel
creates
it.
like kinks and stuff like that because you're
Yeah, or
like
just like really, yeah, things that are worse than like things that are actually not good, unhealthy relationships to sex, like addictions or well, perversions, I guess is the best word I can use. I don't know. Like, I don't want to really get into all the different ways people can be like fucked up sexually, um, but yeah, like it's a good thing to work with. It's like you said, I think what you said, it's efficient.
yeah.
Like it is. I can definitely say that.
Yeah, but I think like sex is also like the most primal energy and like the I think it's like the fastest way to like your unconscious mind too. You know? Like I don't know, like I felt a lot from this session. You know, like it just felt like just a lot of energy move that like was like sitting like dormant within me. You know, like I still feel a shift from Sunday. Like I feel a difference.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so like but I think the thing is too is like I think it was like the first time like I really like kind of like surrendered to like somebody else like doing the work and like holding the space with that type of energy as well because it's such a like creative powerful energy when it's like harnessed. You know, that's why like people always say like sex magic and stuff works the best for manifestation because it's such like a creative godlike energy. You know, it's the most raw, like creative force. So I don't know. It was a lot. I look forward to talking to her.
Yeah, cool. It'll be cool.
Uh,
What else is going on?
uh, well, like life. I don't know. I don't know. Just like I do a lot of clearings. I had a lot of clearings recently, like a lot of house clearings coming up that were kind of weird. You know, I was telling somebody the other day about a story how like this lady called me for a clearing. She was like, have her son wouldn't sleep in his room. They're having like all these issues, and like she called me on a Monday, and I did the clearing on like a Saturday. So like every day, if I was doing like prayers or whatever, I would see this like being in my mind,
Hmm.
and then he showed up as the entity that was in the house.
I like love this. I love this story. I think this is kind of funny.
But it's like he knew that I was
Yeah,
coming.
he knew you were coming. I don't know, like that freaks me out so much, kind of, because like what does that mean about like time and I don't know, where do these things come from? How do they get stuck in your house? Like, Anyway, what did he look like? Like, what were you seeing in your like
He
meditation?
he looked like if a man had an octopus for a head.
Okay, like the guy from like the Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah,
movies.
Pirates Caribbean. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And actually, there was two entities in the house,
Okay.
and one looked like almost like Alien, like the classic Alien type
Mhm.
being from the movie. You know, like the creepy one with Sigourney Weaver,
Yeah.
and he had like tentacles, and he had a tentacle in one of the sons, right? And then I cleared him, and it kind of looked like almost like energetically they showed me like I don't know if you ever watched Stranger Things,
Not really, but
but like almost like spider webs filling the house,
hmm.
and like he was there for a while, and then this other octopus being originally I thought the thing that was bigger because the alien thing looked huge, you
Mhm.
know, like a size of a car almost, and I thought
That
he was
sounds
like
so insane if you were just like just so you know, like if I don't know, if this wasn't the kind of shit that we talked about, like I don't know, it's just so wild and bizarre and like out there to me that you were seeing these things like and then you go and you meet them in this house, I don't know, it just sounds like crazy talk, but
Yeah, it was
Oh.
weird. I mean, it's funny because it's like I don't know if like back in the day when I used to do this, if I was scared. Like I don't remember being scared necessarily. Like maybe weirded out, but like I don't remember necessarily being scared. But it's like when I'm sitting there, like was sitting there and I'm creating sacred space, and I just feel this thing like almost like breathing on me, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like thinking, like in my head, I'm like, should I be scared? Like, why am I not scared? I mean, I guess I have the awareness that it's like, in a sense, it's like it can't really do anything to me. You know, at
Mhm.
least I don't think so.
No, I think you're probably like you said, you were sitting there creating sacred space. I think it probably can't. I think you're protected. Um, at least that's what I think. Because like I've never. Here's the thing: I've never seen a ghost. I've never seen like anything supernatural. Really, I mean, I get very clear like vibes
Yeah,
or like energies, I guess. Like, but I've never like seen anything like creepy or even that anything I would consider like ghostly. And I've kind of tried, honestly. I've gone on like tours and things, and like I don't know, I think either there's something that I'm like just closed off to it and I really don't want to see that kind of shit.
yeah,
um like demons and things, like I'm not very open to that, to be honest.
yeah,
And I don't care, like I said, I get plenty of energy, I can read, a situation just fine. Like I've been in places where I'm like, this feels haunted, but like, I don't know, does that not happen to you where you're like, this place just feels like it's haunted? But that's as far as it ever goes. So I don't know, I kind of think it would be natural to be scared. I'm sure I would be scared if these kinds of, I don't know, whatever entities are like coming to you. Like, that
yeah.
would
I mean,
freak
I
me
don't
out
know.
for
Like, I
sure.
don't.
I kind of feel like you're lying.
No, I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel real in a sense. Like, I know. I don't know. Because I always used to like think like, all right, if I'm clearing a house and there's like spirits that are stuck, right? I always thought like I was doing the right thing, like I'm helping them pass on, like go into the light.
Hmm.
But then I started to think like, what if I'm not? Like, what if I'm
What if you're just throwing them out there into fucking limbo?
no? But like, what if I'm like no? Or like, say like you look at the view of like we're stuck here and we have to kind of escape the wheel of like samsara, which I don't know if I really believe that anymore. I'm kind of drifting away from that belief. Like I used to really side with the Gnostics, but it just doesn't resonate with me to feel like we're stuck here. You know, like I don't know. I think there has to be a certain like if we're God in some form or another, like how can we really be stuck anywhere without our choice? Like
Mhm.
I think we always have a choice. You know,
Every
but I
moment. Every single moment you have a choice.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like, you know, because I used to think, then I went through this whole time period where I was like, am I putting these beings back into the wheel? You know, like, am I working for the wrong side? You know, like,
Oh gosh. Oh, that's such a weird line of thought. But yeah, I can see how you would think that and be like, what if I'm just moving them from over here and putting them. It's like if you get rid of a spider in your house or whatever and you put it back outside, it's like you're just sending it back out there to the wolves, like, you
yeah.
know.
Well, like an entity, a deity that I work with a lot, believe it or not. And I don't really have necessarily a strong, I guess I do because I work with them, but, is the god Amun Ra. He's like the sun god of the Egyptians. He's like the father god because he's like the god of order. So like if I deal with like an extra interdimensional entity like the thing that was at this lady's house,
Yeah.
it just seems like it's out of order. So he puts things back into order because he's not supposed to be in this
Yeah.
universe or dimension or whatever. So then I always think like, am I just like putting things in order because it's not like they're not supposed to be affecting these people in this home? Like I don't know, and then it just kind of makes me feel weird that I'm just like somebody's cleanup, like I
Hmm.
know that's probably a weird way of thinking, but I just think like if this is, are we if we are supposed to escape this reality, am I just like putting people back in?
I don't know. I don't know. Mm-mm. And maybe that's just what's gonna happen anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to you about like the idea that time is a flat circle and how we're just destined to like repeat the same things over and over again, like eternal return.
Yeah.
Um, I have a like I'm fascinated by this idea, and I do feel kind of drawn to it. Like, but also I don't know. I do hate the idea of just repeating things over and over again, more or less. Like even if it's not in a literal sense, but just like I don't know, just the idea that time repeats itself, and if that is the case, then it's the same as what you're saying. Like we're that being whatever it is didn't belong here, needed to be put back into his like regular orbit and like that was going to happen eventually anyway.
Yeah.
Like you will put him back into his orbit probably an infinite number of times, but then at the same time, okay, so if this goes on forever, isn't there still like room for anything to happen? Do you know what I mean? Like maybe you repeat the same things, but like also new things are added, just because
Yeah.
I feel like if you repeat the same thing enough times, there's always like, I don't know, there's always room for something else. Like,
Well, I
or
mean,
there's
there has to be
the
like an
probability is it's like that it won't go the same way.
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
there
know.
has to be an infinite number of universes with an
Hmm.
infinite number of experiences. Like,
Yeah.
so I think, but
Ooh.
whatever I don't get is that,
Get them in
like,
trouble.
yeah, but like, what makes you be here? Like, why are you in this one right now?
I guess I want to be. I
Yeah.
don't
You
know.
think it's that simple?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I remember, like, when I had, like, one of the
Does that
first,
sound dumb? Like probably not.
no.
Probably just like I chose to do this right now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's an
I don't think I've
unconscious.
done this before.
No, I think wherever I am right now, I think is it's like a new timeline, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Because this doesn't feel familiar to me.
Yeah. So, like,
I feel like I'm definitely learning whatever we're doing here.
well, I had an experience one time when I was like doing healing work. So my aunt and my little cousin had a lot of like anxiety issues and stuff like that. So my aunt asked me to do like a healing with her and my cousin. And I'm driving there and I keep feeling this spirit. I felt like something was going to shift, right? And I felt this spirit. Um, he's like a Hindu guru. His name's Sai Baba, right?
Mhm.
And I call him in when I do sacred space and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm driving and he's just showing up in my mind's eye and he's just laughing. That's all he's doing.
Okay.
He's not telling me why or like what is coming or whatever, but he's just laughing.
Hmm.
And so I go to my cousin's house and I do a healing on my little cousin, which I thought was going to be the big like reveal or whatever.
Yeah.
And I do it. It goes well, whatever, but nothing crazy happens. And then I go to do work on my aunt, and I feel like she has like stuff going on with her. And I do the healing, and as I'm like drumming, I just get this whoosh of energy, and I feel my grandma, and like I feel like I have this like ego death experience where like it's like a oneness and I feel the guide, the guru, and
Hmm.
I just have this awareness of like I've been here before.
Yes.
And like it just like I just keep doing this cycle and it's like a big joke.
And they're all just kind of like laughing, like,
My grandma wasn't laughing, but he was laughing.
yeah.
And it just was like
That's kind of beautiful. I don't know. I don't think they're
it
laughing. I
was
don't think he's laughing at
terrifying to
you.
me actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was like this door opened and I had this awareness of like, I've been here. Like I do this over and over again. And it just never really happened again. I had like another ego death experience, but it was just
It was
very,
different.
yeah, it's just like you feel this like terrifying awareness come on and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm like all is one," that type of like
Yeah, I
thought.
understand.
And then it like kind
It
of
is scary,
passes
I
and
guess,
then you
but
what?
I think like I was just gonna say like it's kind of scary, but I think it's also kind of a relief. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
cuz I think you move into the peacefulness like, "Oh, it's
yeah.
okay," after you
Yeah.
feel terrified.
Yeah.
Because your ego is aware that it's not real,
Yes.
and that's why I think like things
And then
like
it probably doesn't have to keep happening. Like, I
yeah,
don't know. You kind of have like uh healed that thing in a way.
yeah,
Um
yeah,
like
but then
whatever
like
caused you to like feel this like I don't know, it's like working through something. I don't know. They definitely feel like here's the thing. Like you had this kind of good thing happen. At least it wasn't bad, you know. Like you did this like work on your family and then like that's a good thing. There's no, it to me like the ego death at least when I felt that sort of oneness with everything, it's usually like I'm the most like broken down. What's that sound?
what's
I don't know. It stopped,
oh,
but it was coming from you.
I don't know.
Sorry. But yeah, it's been like I'm like broken down and like messed up and kind of yeah, it's always come out of like some really negative experience that that like needs to be healed, you know.
Yeah,
So I guess I just think it's interesting how it seemed like kind of this mundane almost like routine sort of thing that you would do is the thing that is one of the things that would tip you off to the idea that you've like done this before, you've been this you've been here before, everything's the same kind of uh I don't know. That's just interesting to me that it was such a like basic kind of thing for you to do.
yeah, but it's like I don't. That's why
And
like
not like something that like took a huge emotional like toll on you, you know.
yeah, but I was thinking about even like different things that we like kind of accept in certain ways, but like what's the truth behind them? Like I think about also like the whole new age type movement because I feel like if it's moving us to be like more or less egoic, then like are we less likely to fight like the powers that be if they're doing something wrong or like even like mushrooms like if it's like I think about like I know I'm saying like a lot but I think
I think I influence that on other people because I say it so much.
yeah
It's just a
maybe
filler. There's nothing wrong with it.
well
It's
I'm just
okay.
like trying to think you know but what I was gonna say is like we are you know being more positive or like love and light right so it when you all right I got a great comparison hold on when I'm alone like Mondays are my day off pretty much during the day my kids go to school and I'm all alone so it's like I am feeling so good because I'm alone I could do whatever I want I have no responsibility blah 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 But like
Yeah.
Monday,
That's a great day.
yeah, Monday when my kids come home, it's so much harsher when they come home that day because it's like I've been used to like not having to deal with anybody and then like all this responsibility comes back into me, right?
Yeah.
So now if you look at it in terms of like the love and light bullshit, it's like if we are always focusing on, oh, we got to choose our thoughts and feel better
Choose our
and
thoughts.
yeah, and be
Oh god.
happy and be positive.
I can't do it. I'm a
It
negative bitch. Like I can't help it.
but
I don't know. I
but what I'm
mean,
saying is like when things go wrong, it's
it's
so
so
much
much
more
harder.
harsher
Yeah.
because so it's like we're
You
as a
might as well.
society is like getting more and more unable to deal with like adversity.
Um, no.
No.
Well, we like love adversity. We love adversity, actually. You know, like we love like discord and arguing and that sort. Like we love it on sort of a superficial level. Like we want petty shit to like be mad about. But when it comes to like the kinds of things you're talking about, yeah, I don't. I think we're kind of pussies, just to put it bluntly. Like,
Well,
you know,
yeah, but that's a problem. I mean, you got to like nature, like reality exists. You know, like
you love to
we
say it doesn't, though. What are you talking about? I'm confused.
the physical reality exists. I don't know. I talk in
No, it's
circles. You
fine.
know,
Oh my god.
I'm still trying to figure it out, Ruby.
I know.
I don't have it all figured out yet.
I'm just saying what you would say to me, which is that it doesn't exist. It's not real. You
Yeah.
know?
It's not. I mean, it feels less and less real. I mean, I think we exist maybe on some level, but like the made up shit that we see in like social media and stuff, it doesn't really exist. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
No, I
think
mean I'm looking around right now and there's stuff here. Like this is real. You know what I
that's
mean?
yeah, that's what somebody who worked for the inside would say. Maybe you're a double agent. Just send here to podcast
I
with
do
me.
think that there's some that's a possibility.
Yeah, like maybe this is just the Truman Show or the Pete Truman Show.
Oh god. I really don't like that idea. That makes me really sad.
Really?
Yeah, I hate that idea. That's a sad movie. It's a terrible story. Like, I don't know.
Why is it sad? Like, why do you think it's sad? I'm not saying it's not. I'm just.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, because like he thought he had genuine like experiences and connections with people and like he thought he had a whole life and he was just like the butt of the joke at the end of it, you know? Like he was just I don't know. Isn't that sad to you? Just the idea that like everyone around you and everything you know is a lie and everyone is in on it except for you? Like that's so cruel.
I kind of feel like that's true, except that everybody's in on it.
Yeah, I don't think that everyone's in on it.
I think
There's
they're
other
meant.
players, you know, like there's other people who there are definitely people who are, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but everybody is kind of living their own perception.
yeah.
So in a way, isn't that a lie? Because it's not your reality.
No, because they don't know that they're lying.
You don't think so?
Like I think that like I said, I think there's some people who are in on it and then there's other players who probably don't know. They're just out here like you know. But then that's the whole like simulation analogy that like of like NPCs and like that gets on my nerves. Like I don't think about it like that really, but if I had to like explain it, I think a lot of us are here. We're playing the game. We don't really know why or like and yeah, like our experiences and perceptions are very different from each other, but we don't really understand or know that because there's other there's all these other like factors and things that were put here to like define things for us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we don't know how to describe anything that we see as blue besides the word blue. So we could see blue totally differently, like, you and I, but because there's no other real word for it, and I can't see in your brain and you can't see in mine, you know, it's just what I see as blue and what you see, as blue. We call it the same thing, but we have no idea if it's the same thing. It's not, so you're not lying, you're not lying and telling me it's blue, it's green, like
Yeah. But I mean,
it would be different and like nefarious if you knew that everything was different than how I perceived it, but you
yeah,
don't.
but do you think there's some aspect of you that knows it's like not necessarily true? It's like 9/11, right? I always think of like the time they found the terrorist passports, right? Like, oh, we believe that this plane hit the building and melted the steel, blew everything up, and knocked down two twin towers. Here's the terrorist passport.
Yeah, that's
I mean, there's
is that really
people.
what happened? I
Yeah,
do not remember this.
yeah. There's people
Wow.
who believe that, right? But I
And
think,
like that the wallet or whatever, like it just happened to fall out of their back pocket and
but I'm
their
just
bodies
saying,
burned and melted. Like,
regardless, it's like there's people who are more comfortable with believing that than believing the truth.
yeah, sure.
So, and that goes on any level or any other
Like someone
circumstance.
sees something that they don't want to see though.
Well, nobody wants to believe the hard truth, you know. And I'm not saying anything's necessarily true because we don't. I don't know the answer, but it's just like critical thinking. It's like anything that's in the media. It's like, what is the truth? You know. So then, like, look at yourself. Like, what are we believing that we know is true just because it feels more safe?
Well, but you can't know what you don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah, I don't know
saying?
though, but I think there's a level of us that like
Or like how important is it to you? Like how important is knowing the truth about, I don't know,
I like for me, I feel like it's
like
er,
on all when it comes to anything.
I feel
Like
like for me, I think it's everything. I feel like that's all I ever wanted.
there aren't just things that you don't like care about though. Like sports or whatever. Like you don't I mean, the NFL like kind of conspiracy theories that are out there, but like you don't care about the truth of that, right?
I don't know. Like I feel like I would want to know the truth if I could,
Yeah. But you're
even
not
if it's stuff I don't necessarily care about. Because I feel like that's in a way that's what I think everybody wants that because it's like they form their own truth based off of what they believe. So it's like they want to be the one that's right. Like I'm choosing the right side.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of how it works. That sounds so dumb when you put it like that, though, Pete. like,
Why?
like no, like you're like you're making a point, and I get what you're making. I'm just saying it's like it makes us all sound stupid. Like, oh, I just want to be right, so like I want to know the truth, so I can be the right one. Like that just sounds so childish, and like, gosh, if it's
Yeah,
like
well,
that,
that's
that's
why they
so
could
kind of
still divide
pathetic.
us. That's why they could still divide us
Yeah, shit.
because
And it's
everybody
deeply,
wants.
it's deep. Like I can feel that energy within myself of like just wanting to be right
Yeah.
because I'm usually right,
What do
and
you don't
and
you don't
that
believe
feels
in
good.
science? Like I feel like I would hear somebody say that. Like you don't
Yeah,
believe in science?
yeah, things
You
like
know?
that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like that's something I don't care about. I don't like need to know the truth about science when it comes to pretty much anything because like you said, like I don't need to I don't know. I just I don't know. That just doesn't seem important to me. And I do think that whatever we can scientifically prove, like that doesn't mean a whole lot to me. So maybe I don't believe in science. Maybe that's what I just figured out. Like I just don't believe in it. So that's why it's not important. like
Yeah,
to
but I
be
think
fair.
like
Yeah.
what if these like dualistic things are really just about like organizing us?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
your belief is this, your belief is that, and then like once there's controlled groups, you can control us better maybe. I don't know.
Sure. I guess I don't yeah, I mean I don't know. I'm sure there's like a pretty simple reason for divide I guess just to keep us busy and occupied. I don't know. Um like it probably is like just as simple as controlling like putting us into groups so they can control us with whatever particular like mind control program, it's it's probably just
Uh,
like a filing system.
well, I think like nature, like the more complex it gets, the more organized it gets. So it's like I don't know. I think like I was thinking about like, you ever see like where people do like almost like a group manifestation? Like actually, I was just listening to Jessa Reed. Her episode was called like "Don't Be Corn,"
Yeah.
and she was like her story. She shares like people sending her like corn, like manifesting in their reality.
Hmm. I
Like,
mean there's
oh,
corn everywhere, but yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, you're driving and there's a big ear of corn on the side of the road, and then she like.
Right, that's random.
So I think like what is that really like a synchronicity, or is there like some sort of like self organizing mechanism in our reality?
Yeah, that's an argument for the simulation for sure.
And then like it like yeah, it like just puts us
That's
into
yeah.
groups based on our frequency. Like, so if we're all manifesting on this like group frequency that resonates with Jessa Reed and like what she says.
If people listen to a podcast, you like yeah, if everyone listening to a podcast is thinking about ears of corn, yeah, they'll start to appear in your reality. Like sure. It's the same
Yeah.
like we yeah. Yeah, that's and I think that's really cool. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It just, like I think that's how memes happen. Like you know what I mean? Like everybody has seen like this same like image and like that particular image communicates a certain feeling of an experience, and then like I don't know.
Yeah, but like what is the purpose behind that?
Um
Like what's the purpose of the mechanism? I don't know. I think everything has a purpose.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean I think there's signs, I think um one thing I think about because I really like the internet, right? I do. And a lot of you hear all the time that people don't connect with each other the same way. And it's like social media has ruined like human connection and, you know, like all like you've heard those kinds of things about how, people don't date the same way. They don't meet new people the same way. You have friends online that you have never met and might never meet. Like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
um and I just think like there's that argument or like conspiracy theory that they want us to be separate. They're trying to break down like the family unit and the potential for people to probably organize and affect any kind of real change in the world. Like if you can keep people from, being together physically in a room or having to stay 6 feet apart or whatever, you can you can control people more easily. Like those kinds of things, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
making a point. I'm getting at a point. I'm just like laying the foundation, I
I'm
guess. Sorry, I'm
listening.
taking so long. Um but I think that as humans we need connection, so we're just figuring out new ways to do that. Like, okay, so we can't physically in the 3D see each other because we cannot yet like time travel or whatever. We can't like fly. So I don't know. So we figure out other ways to connect through like, yeah, synchronicities or shared like virtual experiences. And yeah, like I don't know. I just think
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like
maybe.
it's like we're evolving to create this new form of connection that's more like kind of psychic, and like maybe we're developing telepathy right now. You know, I just think that like humans are, and the brain is really fucking powerful, and if you try to like limit it in one way, it's gonna figure out a different way to get its needs met or to grow and evolve, because
Yeah.
it has to. Like human consciousness has to like constantly expand. So like everything does. So
Yeah,
it's like if
well,
they try to limit us in this one area and keep us all online all the time, like we're just gonna figure out a new way to like navigate that, and that's kind of cool.
yeah, but I mean, maybe the internet was created to kind of like sideswipe like telepathy or like what
Well,
was
yeah, no,
cut.
but that's what I'm saying. Like the opposite's happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, over
Like it's had
time.
the yeah, it's like I think it's had the that's probably not the intention of it, but like in a way, in a backwards way, it's still happening anyway. I do
Yeah.
think like I think the internet is more about like you know surveillance probably than like I think it is like obviously a really good way to like get propaganda out there, but um but yeah, I also think it's probably more about just like watching us and what we do so they can predict our like moves, um and learn about like how to sell us stuff, like how, yeah, exactly, that's the main thing it's for. I don't think it's really that deep, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
Being.
the internet's there to sell us stuff and figure out how to like make us pay attention longer to something that doesn't matter,
Yeah.
like that's all, like, yeah, that's all it's for mostly. I don't know. I think I'm not afraid of the machines, I'm really not.
No, I don't think they're. No. They can't even figure out automated phones. I still have problems when I just hang up.
Oh,
So
you mean like
press one to talk
yeah,
to
yeah,
a
yeah,
representative.
yeah.
When you have to yell representative and they say, "What did you say? Please repeat yourself." Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I will. Yeah, I get really frustrated with those too. Probably because I don't know. You can't fit me in a fucking box. Like maybe I need to select 2 and 3, bitch. Like why can't I do that?
Oh,
You know what I
it's.
mean?
Oh,
Or
you
like
know what I hate the
what if
most?
there's not an option for what I need from you right now? And then it's like, well, if we can't help you, get online. It's like if I could have done this on, you think I would have made this call if I could do it online? Like,
No, you know what I hate the
like
most?
when they direct you to a fucking website from the phone, I'm like, this is why it doesn't work. This is why the machines will never win, because they don't know, like they cannot meet our fucking needs. Like they can't
Yeah,
figure it out. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Well, it's like
they
the
get it so wrong.
self checkout lines.
Hmm.
It's like every time I go on that line, because I hate going on it unless there's nobody there. Then I go on it and it's like you have to call over like customer support every time I do it. It's like, what's the purpose of having this if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
You know? And like now, like you go to, I don't even go to Home Depot anymore because they like record you while you're doing it. And it's
Yeah, they
like,
do that at Walmart too.
yeah, the two shittiest stores in the
Yeah, and
world.
Target. Target, I think their self checkout also records you, which I really don't like that, and I don't think I really go to any of those places. But
Yeah, I only
it's
go to
very
Lowe's.
strange that like you need to record me while I'm checking out my stuff. I think it's an anti theft thing. I kind of doubt like anyone's out there watching it. You know, I think it's more of a deterrent.
See, I think the opposite. I think there's a guy in Home Depot who has like a whole reel of me checking out and watches it every day before when he wakes up just to remember me.
You just want to be adored.
Yeah, that's all. I have a praise king.
Yeah, that's funny.
Um, yeah, no, I don't know. I just think like I don't know. I'm kind of curious about like why those things happen. Like, what's the purpose of synchronicity? Like, I used to think one thing, but I don't know. I think maybe it's all just us. I don't know. Like,
Hmm.
I was even thinking back to like having a community and stuff like that because I actually really like listening to like Jesus people sometimes just to have like a
Like
to-
preachers.
just like total opposite like perspective. Like I think I sent you the podcast that I was listening to last night. It's this lady who is like super like new age starseed turned born again Christian.
That's fascinating. We've talked about that before, like how interesting that is and like why in the
Yeah.
world. Like um anyway, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
I like listening to like it goes back to what we were talking about before in terms of like everybody being love and light all the time and not having to deal with adversity. Like I think you need people. See, like my answer for being in a community has always been like, oh, I don't like other people. Like I'd rather be alone because I don't want to deal with other people's bullshit. But on the other hand, it's like maybe you need other people's bullshit to like kind of check you.
Well, I feel like if you live in a community that you are dealing with other people's bullshit, like that is the deal.
No, I know, but in general, well, like you go into these like,
Like you don't have to deal with like the public as much. I don't know.
yeah,
Your public's just smaller. Maybe
yeah.
that's a good thing, yeah. But still,
Well,
I'm just saying you do that regardless. Like we need that.
well, like I've been part of like spiritualist churches and stuff like that, and it's always like some bullshit comes up about somebody's shit that like the group has to deal with. That when
Mhm.
they're supposed to be these healed people or like
That's just not
people.
reality, man.
No, I know, but I held, because I think I try to hold myself to a certain standard, and not that I'm there, but it's like I definitely put pressure on myself to kind of always be try to be as deeply aware of myself as I can be. So I think I just expect that from other people, or I used to expect that, but I think like now I've realized that like you need people who aren't on your level, because you got to see everybody's perspective. And it goes even to like holding space for people. Like, if you can hold space for somebody else, you can learn to hold space for yourself. I don't know. It always goes back to the same bullshit. Everything's a reflection of self, and the people that bother you are really just some sort of deep seated issue within you.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I guess I'm still kind of stuck on this idea that like you kind of do need that level of like interaction and I don't know. I think we kind of seek out petty fights and like I don't know, bring our shit into whatever group we are a part of, you know.
Yeah. Well,
We kind of like need that.
I think of like my father who's retired. It's like he only has the voices in his head he talks to. So it's like there's nobody telling him he's like shot. That's why he has to come to me so I could tell him he's shot. So
Okay.
I think no, but I think like if you don't have those outside voices to
Being like, "You're
check.
full of shit right now. Like, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have
You can get
that.
into a lot of trouble, like, if you and you I don't know, I mean,
What?
yeah, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you're just, like, in your own head and don't listen to anybody. You really I think, yeah, you can convince yourself or lead yourself down any path, and, yeah, you need outside influence, you need people to, like, tell you when you're fucking up, and, yeah, I don't know. I maybe I just like, gossip and drama and, like, I just think it makes life more interesting, I guess.
What makes life more interesting? What do you mean?
Like drama and like gossip and like little political kind of things that go on within any social group, you know.
Yeah,
I think that makes life more interesting, and maybe that's toxic of me. I guess maybe it is, but I don't care. Like I am who I am, I don't I think it makes life more interesting. Uh I mean, I don't like groups though really, and I don't have a lot of friends. So I do like limit who gets to come to me with their bullshit, you know?
yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Like
I don't know.
there's yeah.
I guess if that's who you are.
You're like that does sound fucking toxic, Ruby.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, I always go back and forth with, like, what is who you are, and then what is, like, just bullshit that you're, like, drama and you're, like, shit that you're bringing out. It's
Mhm.
like, what is, like, where's the line of, like, where you find authenticity?
That's a good question.
What's the answer?
Well, I'm thinking. I guess hmm. Like, okay, I don't think I'm particularly judgmental towards other people, like on a yeah, like on a deep level. I know I'm not really judging anyone. And I think there's a part of it that is my purpose in this world, like to be sort of a mediator or to hold space for people to like yeah, work their shit out. Sort of you do it in one way. I think I kind of do it in a different way. Um yeah, so I guess like if I feel like a situation is draining or annoying or whatever, like I'm not going to like put myself or invest myself into that. I'll probably take a step back and be like, I don't know what's going on over there, but that's not my fucking problem. But that being said, there are plenty of I don't know. Yeah. Like I'll start some drama in my life like if I'm bored. I know that that's not a good thing, but I've definitely seen myself do that. Um and I think that's also pretty like inauthentic and toxic or whatever. Those things I have, issues with, but but if I'm just like yeah, mediating a situation between people or being a wall for someone to like bounce their thoughts and ideas off of, and like I don't know, people come to me for advice, and like I go to other people for advice with my like issues and the things going on in my life, and I think it's important, and I think it is part of who I am, on the sense of like that's what my purpose is in a
Yeah,
way, to be for people. And when I say I like gossip and drama, I was just I that's kind of I don't know. Yeah, that's just sort of a silly way of putting it, I guess. But I don't know. I think that's just part of it. Yeah, this is part of the whole purpose thing. But yeah, if I'm just being mean or yeah, I don't know. Trying to start shit because I'm bored, like that's yeah, that's probably the line where I'm like, that's a problem. Like that's inauthentic.
Yeah, but how do you
Does
know
that make
like the
sense?
difference between like being authentic and like your attachments to certain like desires or wants?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on the situation, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't all you the answer is that you don't. Like you don't always know.
That sucks.
You usually find out later.
What that
Like
you were
after the thing has happened and you've had some time from it, you can usually see like, oh wow, I was really caught up in like controlling the situation that I lost sight of like the truth, you know? Or I was really, yeah, like I had everything fucked up. I was not seeing clearly. You know, do you ever like get in a fight with somebody and you're like, you like double down on whatever your opinion is and make the fight worse and it becomes this bigger thing and you look back and you're like, wow, I really didn't care that much and I was just like, yeah, you're just being
I
an
don't know.
asshole.
Like I don't know. Like I think like I don't care enough, or maybe
You
I'm.
never you never do. You never fight with people?
No, I fight with people, but I think to me like I fight with people for probably worse reasons. Like I don't fight with people to like prove a point. I more fight with people to make them off balance.
Damn, that's kind of dark.
Yeah, I'm fucked up. What do you
Well,
want?
that's what I'm saying. So we like,
Like I don't really care about
yeah,
like somebody's view of something.
right.
Like I think I'm open to whatever people view because
But what if
everybody
it's just
had.
like a personal thing where someone like misinterpreted something you said or something you did?
Well,
Then you're gonna care to defend yourself and be like, no, like fuck you, you know.
I don't know.
But
Like
then looking
I
back, you might find that you were wrong.
see. Like I think like I have my opinion, and it doesn't like I don't care what anyone else's opinion is.
Hmm. I only believe that a little bit. I'm like maybe, but
No, but like any like you could think of any like social topic. Like you have your opinion, I have my opinion. Like why do
that's
I
a different thing though. When you're talking about like
an argument?
opinions.
Why? It's the same thing. Like what are you arguing with some like I'm trying to think of like what I'm arguing with somebody about.
I know that's not. Yeah, it's too vague, I guess. But I guess I'm really just meant like I think there. I don't know. I don't know. I do
You
think that
do know.
there's. I think that you like your ego, and when I say your, I mean like the all of us. It wants to control how it wants to control how you're perceived, right? Like you want most egos strive for like being perceived as like good and whatever, like strong, you know, you want to be seen as like a good person and a good father and whatever. And if someone like someone like I don't know, criticizes something you're doing as a parent or how much time you spend with your kids or something like that, you'd be like, it's none of your fucking business. Like you know, you would defend it. Like that's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
See, like I don't look. I don't know. Like I think like when I got into more aggressive arguments or whatever, I think a lot of times I just really like the push and pull. I don't
Right.
really care about the fight, like
Right.
because I think everybody has their right to like their own opinion about things.
Sure.
You know, like I don't take it personal if you have a different belief than me.
Yeah. And maybe I don't know, maybe I'm just like a girl about it and I'm like,
No, I mean I
of
think,
course I care what people think about me, okay? Like of course I do.
but like also like I think, see, like I feel like in my own life, like me and my wife, like what would I fight about her with? Maybe like like our like belief around our kids, but I think we have pretty similar beliefs for the most part. Um, I don't know. Like, I feel like the only place I really would fight with people probably is work, you know? And that's
Yeah, if someone
because,
oversteps their, like, you know, if someone oversteps onto like your uh whatever you're in control of, like if someone tries to tell you what to do and oversteps that like boundary, like those kinds of things, is that the kind of shit you get upset about? Like
yeah,
what?
but like stuff like that, like, say, I'm much more confrontational and I'm much more like in a person's face. It's not a back and forth argument. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of the last fight I got into in a
No,
job.
you just like tell someone how it is and then that's it.
Yeah, if you don't like that, go fuck yourself.
Oh no. Yeah.
Or like middle, like upper
That's
management,
so
like the
funny. I
corporate
never talk
ass.
to anyone like that. I mean, I do. That's not entirely true, but it just that's not yeah, that's not my go-to.
Yeah, but it's different. I'm like blue collar men, majority of the men. So it's like,
Yeah, I'm sure yeah, if you work with all men, I'm sure that's like a more effective way to like handle things.
yeah, you want to
It's
fight
not at all
about it?
effective in my life.
You want to? No, but like I purposely like I'm trying to think of like, so I would say like the corporate aspect of my field. Like you have these office people who are like safety and like the corporate aspect. I fight with them a lot still, and
Yeah.
most of those things I'm more manipulative. Like I just drop seeds, just to like push a little button and have people think, you know.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I just like to argue. I don't know. I mean, I kind of do.
No, I'm
I'm not
if
the kind
you
of person who's gonna like get go in someone's DMs and like start an argument because of something they posted or something like that. Like I don't like just start fights out of nothing. But I think I yeah, I like to play devil's advocate. So I will like look at the
but I mean
I'll
that's
just take the other side just to
but
be
that goes
contrary, maybe.
yeah, but like if you look at it like what you just said, like the DMs, right? So like say somebody is anti-gun or whatever like that,
Yeah.
and which is definitely a hot topic. I used to like say something if I saw somebody post a story and I was like, this is just retarded, like.
Yeah,
But
that's
but in the
great.
end, like I did that. Have done that. I'm not gonna act like I haven't.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like it's like anything. Like you could be anti-gun, but to say like there's no purpose to guns is just stupid. Like anywhere in the history of the world, anytime there was a dictatorship, the first thing they do is take people's guns. Like even all the liberals who supported Ukraine and stuff like that, they wanted to send them guns.
Yeah,
Like,
and well, yeah, guns and other
but
things.
listen, you could be anti-school shooter. Like, yeah, I'm not saying because
Okay, yeah.
no, but like just because I want guns doesn't mean I want innocent people to get hurt. But you
Yeah.
could also have the common sense to say, listen, there is a positive to having guns. Okay, like regardless of what your opinion is, you know. But like, if you respond to those people, it's like I said, everything's your personal view. So like, if you have an experience that's negative and you associate guns with fear and you weren't around guns in your life, yeah, there's nobody's going to change your perspective of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was very anti-gun until I like shot a gun and someone explained to me like cuz that's the thing, like if someone who has guns and uses them and like knows what they're doing, they can those are the people who can explain to you like why you should have a gun and why people should be able to have guns. And you know what I mean? Like that's like the first it ever kind of occurred to me like yeah, it is kind of fucked up to like take someone's like it's protection, it's hunting and food and like recreation, like it's just not right to take that away from people.
Yeah,
It's pretty simple to me, but yeah, it kind of took like I don't particularly like to shoot guns. I have a tendency to close my eyes.
perfect.
It's like the dumbest girl shit ever.
You should buy a six shooter and just walk around with it.
What's that, like a revolver?
Yeah, with like the old school, like
Yeah, no,
this.
I like shooting those. They're fun. Like I feel like I'm in the wild west.
Yeah,
It's like it feels cool.
what was the female like?
Annie Oakley? No.
Yeah,
Well,
was it any
I
of
think she
them?
had a shotgun. I
Oh,
don't. I think she was a shotgun, but she might have had a revolver too. I don't know. I don't know that much about her. But yeah, I think it's cool. But I'm probably not the. Yeah, I don't know that I need to have one, but I like that I have the right to. All this being said, there was a mass shooting last night, so
oh, perfect timing.
perfect timing. Um,
Yeah,
but you know, I think that shit sucks. I'm not here to support that. That's fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. You don't have to lump everything into two fucking categories. You're not
well,
with us.
that's
You're with
what
the
I'm talking.
terrorists.
But that's what I'm talking about. Is like people get into these same matching frequencies, and then it's like you're
Yeah,
easier to control.
yeah. And I think that I mean, it's weird because there is such a thing as duality, right? Like, I just think you can take anything and flip it on its head and divide people about it. But I think in reality, there's so much more nuance to anything. Nothing's really black and white. Everything's shades of gray.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how I feel about everything. And it's like then it's not so hard to have the awareness that like just because someone thinks we should have guns doesn't mean that they think it's okay for kids to get killed at school. No one thinks that's fucking okay.
nobody.
Like literally no one thinks that's okay.
Yeah, nobody.
um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's just so weird. I don't know. I think it's just like I don't know. Part of me thinks like all this like social media and stuff is just creating these like I don't know what you want to call
Like
them, but
these
it's
extremes, like these two kind of extremes, yeah. But then, like I said before, I think that there's also a lot happening that you see sort of the bridges being created to kind of you see people changing their minds over time or like becoming like less radicalized or like I feel like I see people who are like trying to bridge the gap between like you're with us or you're with the terrorists like that kind of black and white mentality that a lot of people have about social issues. Like I
yeah.
feel like there are a lot of people who are like, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, everybody has reasons and like different things that they care about, and that's okay. Like we don't have to be on the same page. Like there are a lot of people who think like that. So I just I think that if you get yourself convinced that we're being divided, that's what's going to be like that's what you're going to see happening, and you just can't let yourself like that's just so pessimistic to me. I can't think like that.
Yeah, I just
Like I know that there is that happening, but I also see that there's people trying to like resist that, and yeah, I just can't allow myself to think like like to believe that we're going to be divided because I think at the end of the day most people want the same things and most people are good.
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe in us.
For sure.
I think we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Like the Mary Tyler Moore theme song. I'm not gonna sing it, but
Can you
if you get it,
please?
you
I
get
don't
it.
know. I don't know what you're. I don't know what you're talking.
You're gonna make it after all.
Ah,
Where
that
she like
song.
throws up the hat.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
I don't think I have, but
It's like I guess like 70, 60, late 60s, 70s. I don't know. R.I.P. Mary Tyler Moore.
yeah,
I guess we can end it.
yeah, that sounds good. Follow us on Spiritual Graffiti Pod. Please like, comment, share. You can
Yeah.
tell, yeah, love us, hate us.
Yeah. Yeah. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Uh, uh.
Are we done? It's still recording.